Hi everyone, good morning and assalamu alaikum. Hope you're well. So this is our, I think, first, second, third class. So can you please type in the chat box if you can hear me properly and you can see me properly. Type in the chat box, yes, I'd like to see, and then I'm going to start in a minute. Right, so I can see a lot of comments are coming through. Thank you for responding. So today's class would be all about how to ask questions, because you know the language. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. First of all, can you please type in the chat box, what do you mean by language? Right, please type in the chat box, what do you mean by language? First of all, I'd like to see, what do you mean by language? Please type in the chat box very quickly. Okay, thank you for responding. So language, this is my personal opinion, right? Language means asking and answering. So if you know how to ask a question and how to answer it, that means you know the language. That's the definition of meaningful language. So I definitely recommend you learn how to ask questions. And if you know how to ask questions, that means you understand the pattern of questions and you will be able to understand the answer as well. Right. So thank you for joining today. So today's class is third class, is all about asking questions. So please type in the chat box. If you really follow me, type in the chat box, asking and answering, right? So what do you mean by language? Type in the chat box, asking and answering. Dear beginners, let me say it in Bengali. So language এর মানে কি? এটা হলো কোশ্চেন করা এবং উত্তর দেওয়া। যখনই আপনি কোশ্চেন করতে পারতেছেন এবং উত্তর দিতে পারতেছেন, that means you know the language, right? So today class is all about asking question, how to ask question. So before starting this class, I'd like to share a story, right? So please type in the chat box if you'd like to know the story. Type in the chat box very quickly. If you'd like to know that story, type in the chat box a story, STORY. So this is the story and experience I'm sharing from my life, so that you can get benefit out of it. So back in 2014, right? So when I okay, you know already my stories. So I was born and brought up in a lower middle class family. My mother was a primary school teacher, my father was a high school teacher, and they supported me financially initially. I fly to the UK. I finished my course from Birmingham City University in international business. And after that, I had two options, whether I'm gonna go home or I'll stay in the UK. So I have decided that I'm gonna stay in the UK. So then for finishing this course, I moved to post-study work. There was 2 years work permit. Then once I got 2 years work permit, I mean PSW, then I was asking myself, what's the next move, where I'm going to? Then one of my lawyers, he said, you have got two options again. So whether you can start your own business, applying for entrepreneurship visa, and the other one is you can apply for work permit visa. So then I said, okay, let me give some time. I'll think about it and I'll come back to you, right? So then I have decided I'm gonna go for entrepreneurship visa. Please type in the chat box if you heard me right, entrepreneurship visa, right? So this is a tough spelling. I'd like to see you are giving an exam. So type in the chat box, entrepreneurship visa, right? So a lot of people, they are saying it business visa. So I applied to that and I got refused by Home Office, right? They didn't give me the visa. Then I went to court and I appealed and I won. And after that, I have started my journey as an entrepreneur. So back in 2014, so I didn't have any clue, because in my 14th generation there was no businessman, right? So all I got to this, I need to learn a lot of things and I need to apply it. I need to get the results. So I registered a company in the United Kingdom, and the name of the company is H&K Business Associates Limited. Then once I established this company, then I was failing all the ways, right? I didn't know how to do the sales call over the phone. When I started calling them, they put down the phone. and I was, frustrated. I was disappointed. I didn't know how to do the business. Then I started doing some sort of research. And this is the very important lesson for you. I would definitely recommend you listen properly, and you will get your solution if you are struggling or if you've got so many challenges, right? So then I was doing a lot of research, and I found a mentor. Please type in the chat box, mentor. Type in the chat box very quickly, mentor, mentor. Right. So I was looking for a mentor, and all of a sudden I found that his name is Mo Nawaz, and he is from Birmingham, and he is a mentor. Basically, he teaches young entrepreneurs how to do business. And I send him a message. I request him, can I please attend one of your mastermind program? And he said, okay, my assistant will give you a call. She will ask you a lot of questions, and if she thinks that you are right fit, then she's gonna take you on the board and you can join us, right? So thank you for responding. I can see a lot of people are commenting, mentor, mentor, mentor. Thank you for responding. You are the real player, right? Not a spectator. So once I got on the board, and I was invited to Mayfair in central London. Mayfair is a nice place in central London, and Mayfair is the name of hotel as well. It's 5-star hotel. So I went there, I went to reception, and such a nice lady was sitting there. He said, hey, gentlemen, how can I help? And I said, I am here for a mastermind program. And she said, what do you mean by mastermind? Because she's a receptionist, right? She doesn't know about the mastermind. And I said, okay, I am here to see the Mo Nawaz. He said, yeah, I know him. So please go to that lobby. Right? I went there, and I was smelling the coffee. Yeah, so such a nice smell of the coffee. I entered into the room. I was some kind of scared, right? Such a posh hotel, nice hotel, and I am from the lower middle class family. Just moved in the UK, just finished my graduation, moved to PSW, and then got the business visa. And then I went inside the training room, and I just sat somewhere else in the corner so that no one can see me. Right? I didn't have that much confidence. I had a lot of doubts in myself. So then, long story short, the mastermind program has started, and my mentor said, can you please introduce yourself? All you got to do is you need to say your name, where you're from, and how much is your turnover. Follow me very, very attentively, right? So my mentor, he was saying, introduce yourself, saying your name, where you're from, and how much is your turnover. And everyone was giving introduction. Everyone was saying, hey, my name is John. I'm from XYZ company. My turnover is 3.4 million. Someone was 800K. Someone said 500,000. Someone said 1.75 million, like this, right? And when that turn came to me, and they asked me, and I said, hi, my name is Habib. I'm originally from Bangladesh. I'm an entrepreneur, and my turnover is minus 9,000 pounds. Type in the chat box what I just said, minus 9,000 pounds, right? So, and I asked myself why I'm here. There are a lot of successful people are here in this room. They are hanging around, and I am such a failure. Why I'm here? So, dear beginners, this is for you, right? So, if you think that you are the beginner, and a lot of people, they are giving presentation, they can speak well, don't worry about that, right? I was in this position as well. I was in such a failure in the mastermind program, where I started learning from mentor. And here is the one thing you got to remember. My mentor, he said, Habib, I believe in you. You can do it. These are the people who has got 3.7 million, 2.8 million, 1.7 million, 500,000. Just I'm going to ask them questions. So how long have you been doing this business? And they are saying 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And then my mentor, he asked me, how long have you been doing this business? I said, it's less than 3 months. And he said, look, so in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years time, you will do better financially. And you will come back to me and you will say, thank you, Mo Nawaz, for believing me. And I'm making this amount of money. So this year, we made around 900,000. Type in the chat box, 900K. Just this year, last year, right? So in 2021, we made around 900,000K, around 900,000K. I don't like to give you the exact figure. So type in this chat box if you heard me right, 900,000K. So can you see the journey where I'm from? Minus 9,000 pounds. Here is 900,000K. Probably if it is not COVID, probably we might hit million, right? So in pounds, it's not Bangladeshi taka, right? It's pound, 900,000K. So here is the story, and here's the moral of the story is, আপনি যদি বিগিনার হয়ে থাকেন, আপনি যদি মনে করেন যে সবাই ভালো ইংলিশ বলে আমি বলতে পারতেছি না, that's fine, absolutely fine. Probably you have started last week or last month or last year, right? So if you commit to yourself, if you do consistency, if you follow the consistency, if you practice every single day, all you got to do is you got to be committed to yourself, and in 1 year's time or 6 months time you will see you are here and now you are here, right? So that's the only thing you got to do. So from this story I'd like to share, pick up some sort of important things so that you can understand. So all you got, my mentor, he said, if you'd like to be a successful in your life, first of all you need to find a mentor. Type in the chat box, what does mentor mean? Mentor means teacher. Mentor means trainer. Mentor means who has been there and now he would like to pick you up there. So that's the only thing. So if you'd like to be successful in your life, the first step is you got to find a mentor. Please type in the chat box, find a mentor. Find a mentor. Once you find the mentor, then listen to him attentively, 100%. Right? Don't do anything by yourself. Once you find your mentor, listen to him 100% and do whatever he says. That's the step 2. Number 3 is, if you don't believe in yourself, believe in your mentor. Tell yourself that, okay, still I can't believe in myself, but I believe in my mentor because he has gone through this journey. He achieved a lot of things and he can help me. So I'm gonna just follow his instruction. Once you start believing in yourself through the mentor, you start taking massive actions, and at the end of this tunnel, you are started getting the results. And this is how from 9,000 minus 9,000 to 900,000. Did you get me? So the first one is find the mentor. Number 2 is follow the instruction 100%, not 99%, 100%. And number 3 is believe in yourself, believe in your mentor, and take massive actions. And once you do these 3 steps, you're gonna be successful. It is, if it is language, that's fine. If it is business, it's the same thing. So if you really understood the whole story, please type in the chat box understood. Very quickly, please type in the chat box understood. Okay, now today's class is all about what is called asking questions. So if you'd like to know language, okay, let me ask you a few questions before getting into the class. How many of you submitted your homework? Please type in the chat box, I submitted. If you did, type in the chat box, I submitted. Second question I'm gonna ask you, how many videos you have watched and commented positively? Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. I'd like to see, is it 5 videos, 10 videos, 20 videos, 20 comments, right? Please type in the chat box, how many videos have you watched and you commented positively? Type in the chat box the number of videos you have watched quickly, right? একটু দ্রুত চ্যাট বক্সে জানান কতগুলো ভিডিও আপনি দেখেছেন এবং কতগুলো ভিডিওতে আপনি কমেন্ট করেছেন. And here is the another lesson I'd like to share with you is, so can you remember I went inside the room, training room, mastermind, and I was failure, but I hang around with the successful people, right? And once I got the environment, I started believing myself, and I said, okay, I have started talking to them, hanging around with them. I said, you know, these people are not as smart. They are not that much smart enough. So why they are making so much money? Because the secret sauce of being a successful person or businessman is finding a mentor. They found a mentor, then follow the instruction 100%. They are following their instruction and they are taking massive actions. And this is the result they are getting. So it's the same thing. So I can see a lot of people, they are, okay, so Mustafizur Rahman said 20, Mahamudullah Hassan said 10, Sanjida Adoli said 3, not said 3, Himel Shikdar said 3, Suraya Parvin said 3. No, don't was 3, was 10, right? And what's going to happen is, if you don't understand, if you don't have self-doubt, once you watch 10 videos, you're going to start getting some sort of confidence that, okay, I have watched 10 people video, and if they can do it, I can do it as well. When I went to the, the mastermind group, that's the answer I got from the room, that if these 9 people can make it, I can make it too. This is how you're going to get that confidence. So you're in the right place, you're in the right environment, you got a mentor. Now all you got to do is you need to follow my instruction and you need to take massive action. If I tell you 10, you should do 20. If I tell you to ask, practice 10 times standing in front of the mirror, you should do 20, you should do 30. That means massive actions. Now, I would like to recap the whole story so that you can understand. I need 3 words from you. Number 1 is mentor. Number 2 is follow. Number 3 is massive actions. Please type in the chat box 3 words: mentor, follow, massive action. Very quickly, please type in the chat box mentor, follow, and massive actions, right? So very quickly type in the chat box. Now what I'm going to do, I will just share my screen so that you can see. So today is all about asking question. I'm really excited to share with you, because the way you have learned how to ask question, you will see is going to change the whole thought, your approach, that, okay, this is how I can make a lot of sentences using this structure. So very quickly, please type in the chat. Okay, I can see a lot of comments. Nasima Begum said mentor, follow, massive actions. Thank you for responding. Naima, thank you for responding. Mahmoudul, thank you for responding. Nazmul, thank you for responding. Atar Rahman, thank you for responding. Habiba, thank you for responding. Zaki Hamid, thank you for responding. Mitu Shorka, thank you for responding. Okay, so yeah, these are the 3 things you need to have to be a successful in your life. Number 1 is mentor. Number 2, follow instruction. Number 3 is massive actions. Once you do that, you become from minus 9,000 to 900,000. Did you get me? If you really got me, please type in the chat box understood. Please type in the chat box understood. Okay, now next question I'm going to ask you is, in the last class we have practiced a lot and the structure was subject plus verb. So dear beginners, jodi apnar kache ekhono eta kothin mone hoy, I would definitely recommend you, please watch first and second class. It's recorded, right? So please watch it time and again, watch it time and again. And can you remember I told you is repetition is the mother of all skills. Repetition. So what I did in my life, I repeated. So my mentor, he said, this is the script and you need to practice it time and again. Do repetition, repetition, repetition. And once I did the repetition, then I started calling people with confidence, with the right wording. They started talking to me and I closed the sales. This is how I have started, right? So all you got to do is repetition. So repetition is the mother of all skills. Can you please type in the chat box? Repetition is the mother of all skills. So all you got to do is, in terms of practice, you got to repeat. In terms of class, you should watch this class at least 4 or 5 times. And once you start doing that, you're gonna get the results, right? So last class we have practiced a lot about subject and verb. Can you please type in the chat box? Subject plus verb. Subject plus verb. Very quickly. Shobai ekটু লিখে ফেলি comment box এ, subject plus verb. Right, so that was the first structure and we practiced a lot. So what I'm gonna do, I'll share my screen so that you can see what I practiced in the last class, and then we're gonna go forward. So that was subject plus verb, right? So this was the structure we practiced a lot in the last class. And you made a lot of sentences. I speak, we speak, you speak, you speak, they speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks, Tony speaks. So when you're gonna make sentences, make sure you follow this structure. If you don't follow this structure, that means you are making mistakes, right? So that's why make sure you follow this structure. And after that, we practiced. Okay, so I think it's better if you practice with me one more time. Can you please practice with me? So when I say go, you should give me all the sentences in one breath. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. I speak, we speak, you speak, you speak, they speak, he speaks, she speaks, it speaks, Tony speaks. Right. So now you got it. Now all I got to do is now I'm gonna move into the next class. So you have given this presentation, and I'm glad that you have submitted your homework. I repeat, mentor, finding a mentor, follow the instruction and take massive actions, right? So if you don't take massive actions, if you don't submit your homework, you will not get the result. So now today's class is all about asking a question, and I'm really surprised. You'll see that how we're gonna change the whole thing. So language means asking and answering. So if you can ask a question and if you can answer it, that means you can understand and you know the language. So this is how you're gonna do the communication, right? So how to ask a question? So this is how we're gonna ask a question. So I speak. Can you please type in the chat box? I speak. I speak. Type in the chat box. I speak. Very quickly type in the chat box. I speak. Okay. So now how to make this question? So this is how you need to ask this question. Do I speak? I speak. Do I speak? I learn. Do I learn? I understand. Do I understand? You understand. Do you understand? Right? So this is how you need to make questions. So if you see this structure, I speak and do I speak, you can see I have added one more word, that is do. Okay, dear beginners, যদি আপনারা এটা এখনো বুঝে না থাকেন, সেটা হলো একটা ছোট্ট সেন্টেন্স হলো I speak, আমি কথা বলি, রাইট? এটাকে যদি আমরা কোশ্চেন করি তাহলে কি হবে? Do I speak? তাহলে আমি কি করলাম? একটা এক্সট্রা do নিয়ে আসলাম, রাইট? সো যখনই আমরা একটা এক্সট্রা do নিয়ে আসলাম তাহলে কি হলো কোশ্চেনটা? Do I speak? তাইলে স্ট্রাকচারটা হবে do plus subject plus verb one question mark. Do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Please type in the chat box very quickly. The structure to make question should be do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. So very quickly type in the chat box do plus sub plus verb one plus question mark. Okay, so once you understand this whole structure, you'll say why English is so easy, right? English is not a difficult language. All you got to do is you need to understand the pattern. So once you understand the pattern, you'll say, yeah, this is my language. So I'm really waiting to see the structure. Okay, so Naima said do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Excellent, thank you. Sheikh Lukman, thank you. Russell, thank you. Nazneen, thank you. Adnan, thank you. Imon, thank you. Fatima, thank you. Thank you for responding. So do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Quickly type in the chat box. So this is the structure we're gonna follow. And if you follow this structure, that means you know how to make questions. So again, I'm gonna share my screen so that you can see it properly. Here you go. Here you go. So now we're gonna follow this structure. Okay, here is the thing. So do means, type in the chat box. Do means what? Type in the chat box. Do means what? Type in the chat box, please. So do usually means to take an action, but we use do for interrogative and negative sentences. Here do has no meaning. That means we need do to make interrogative and negative sentences. I repeat. Do usually means to take an action, but we use do for interrogative and negative sentences. And here do has no meaning. That means we need do to interrogative and negative sentences. Let me say it in Bengali. So যারা beginner আছেন তাদের জন্য do মানে হলো করা বা একটা অ্যাকশন, বাট do আমরা ইন্টারোগেটিভ এবং নেগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করার সময় আমরা ইউজ করি do, এবং এই doর কোনো মিনিং নাই, রাইট? সো দ্যাট মিনস উই নিড do to make interrogative and negative sentences. তার মানে হলো do আমাদের দরকার ইন্টারোগেটিভ এন্ড নেগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করার জন্য, অর্থাৎ প্রশ্নবোধক এবং না বোধক সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করার জন্য আমাদের do দরকার হয়। সো if you are clear, please type in the chat box clear, CLEAR, রাইট? সো do আমাদের দরকার হবে কিসের জন্য? নেগেটিভ এবং ইন্টারোগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করার জন্য। You got to bear in mind, do দরকার আমাদের ইন্টারোগেটিভ এবং নেগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করার জন্য। However, এই সেন্টেন্স যখন আমরা তৈরি করব ইন্টারোগেটিভ এবং নেগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স, তখন এই doর কোনো মিনিং নাই। Clear? If you're clear, please type in the chat box clear. Now let's follow the structure. So do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Now this is how you need to ask question. Do I speak, right? So just I'm following the structure. Do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. So do I speak? Do we speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? I repeat. Okay, repeat after me. আমার সাথে সাথে বলেন, right? Do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? Right? So he, she, it, Tony, যখন এই সাবজেক্ট গুলো আসবে তখন আমরা কি ইউজ করব? প্রেজেন্ট ফর্মে does ইউজ করব do এর পরিবর্তে। Okay, now repeat after me one more time. So very quickly, within one breath, right? এক নিঃশ্বাসে সবগুলো সেন্টেন্স আমাকে বলতে হবে। Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? Right. So can you please type in the chat box how many sentences you made in one breath? So if you made 9 sentences in one breath, please type in the chat box 9 in 1. I'd like to see. I'd like to make sure you practice with me. 9 in 1. Okay. So do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? So to make it a bit clear, so here you go. So if you'd like to make negative sentence as well, is the same thing. So do you learn Chinese? The answer should be no, I do not. So if you'd like to make it short in contraction, that means no, I don't. No, I don't. Do not কে আমরা একসাথে করে কি বলবো? Don't. So repeat after me. Do not, do. Sorry. Do not, don't. Does not, doesn't. Repeat after me loudly. Do not, don't. Does not, doesn't. Right? So if I ask you, do you learn Chinese? Your answer should be no, I don't. Do you learn Spanish? No, I don't. Right? So now we can see for interrogative and negative sentences, we use do, right? So I think I really made you understand. Now I'd like to check you whether you can understand or not. So I'm going to ask you a question. You need to answer me. Do you learn English? Type in the chat box. Do you learn English? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see your answer. Do you practice? Give me the answer. Do you come to the class on time? Give me the answer. Do you want to learn English? Give me the answer. Type in the chat box. Very quickly, type in the chat box. Answer should be yes, I do. Answer should be yes, I do. So if I ask you, do you speak in English? Do you speak Bengali? Yes, I do. Do you speak Hindi? Yes, I do. Do you speak Urdu? Yes, I do. Do you speak in Spanish? No, I don't. Do you speak in Chinese? No, I don't. Do you speak in Portuguese? No, I don't. Right? So if your answer is yes, then you should say yes, I do. If your answer is no, then you should say no, I don't. Right? So the next question I'm going to ask you, do you learn Chinese? Type in the chat box. Do you learn Chinese? Very quickly. What should be your answer? Do you learn Chinese? Give me the answer. Answer should be no, I don't. No, I don't. Right, now this is your turn. You need to ask me a question. So please ask me a question in the chat box. Do you teach English? Type in the chat box. Whatever the question you can make. I'd like to see if you can make the questions or not. And I'll answer seeing your chat box. Ask me a question using do. Do you speak Bengali? Do you teach English? Do you work? Do you do business? Do you love your students? Do you help students coming to the UK? Do you help poor? Do you donate in charity? Whatever your question, type in the chat box. I'll answer you, and I'll see if you can make sentences. সবাই আমাকে একটু chat box এ question করেন, দেখি আপনারা question করতে পারতেছেন কিনা. Question হবে do you da 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 da. Okay, so now Azul Islam said, do you learn Chinese? No, Azul, I don't. Okay, ask me question, right? Type the questions. Okay, so Sanjida Doli said, do you learn English? Yes, Sanjida, I do. Next question. I'd like to see the question. Type in the chat box question. Only question. Amake chat box e question koren. So Himel Shikda said, do you have any car? Yes, I do. Yes, I have a car. Okay, thank you. So Hassan said, do you teach English? Yes, I do. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. So ask me the question. Do you teach in Japanese? No, I don't. Do you teach English? Yes, I do. Do you love English? Of course, I do. Do you teach Japanese? No, I don't. Do you speak Hindi? Yes, I do, a little bit. Do you help students? Yes, I do. Do you help in PhD admission? Yes, we do. Do you teach English? Yes, I do. Okay. Do you learn Bengali? Yes, I do. Do you learn Tamil? No, I don't. Milon said, do you, what is that? I'm not sure. Do you teach English? Yes, I do. Okay, that means you can ask question, right? So this is how I need to ask question, right? So all you got to do is you got to practice it such a way so that you don't make any mistakes. আমরা এই স্ট্রাকচার ভাষায় এমন ভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করব যাতে আমরা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি কিভাবে করতে হয় সেটা যাতে ভুলে না যায়, কোনো মিস্টেক যাতে না হয়। কিভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করব ভাষায়? This is how, right? So স্ট্রাকচারটা নিয়ে বসবেন, তারপরে let's start. Do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? So this is how I need to practice, right? One more time, I will request you to practice with me. So ready? Ready? So you need to give me all the sentences. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start loudly. Do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. So, till now, whatever have you learned? So, can you make questions? এতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত আপনারা যা শিখছেন এইটা দিয়ে আপনারা কোশ্চেন করতে জানেন কিনা? Please type in the chat box yes or no. Do you know how to make questions? Type in the chat box. Do you know how to make questions? Type in the chat box. If you know, then answer yes, I do. If you don't, say no, I don't. Right? So very quickly, type in the chat box. If you know how to make questions, please answer yes, I do. If you don't, answer no, I don't. Okay. So Mustafa said yes. That means you know how to make questions. Adim said yes. Tasmin said yes. Manal Hassan said no. Okay, that means Manal, you need to practice a lot. Milan Ahmed said yes. Imon said yes. Okay, answer should be yes, I do. I'm asking question. Do you know how to make questions? Do you know how to make yes, no questions? Your answer should be yes, I do. Right? So if you say yes, that's not the complete answer. If you say yes, I know, well, that's the right answer as well. But the smart way to answer it is yes, I do. So, okay, that means you know how to make question. Okay, thank you for responding. Now, I'm going to ask you a tough question. Very, very tough questions. So, who is the favorite person in your family? Type in the chat box. I know it's really difficult to single out whether it's father or mother or brother or sister, but for the sake of practicing, give me one person. Who is the favorite person in your family? Type in the chat box. আপনার ফ্যামিলিতে সবচেয়ে প্রিয় ব্যক্তি কে আপনার কাছে? Type in the chat box. Is it mother? Is it father? Is it brother? Is it sister? Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see very quickly. Please type in the chat box. Okay. So Adnan said mother. Email Shikdar said mother. Okay. Naima said all. No, Naima. You need to single out one person for the sake of practicing. Right? Practicing এর জন্য আমাকে একজন ব্যক্তির নাম বলতে হবে. Sheikh Lukman said mother. Said husband. Okay. Nasima said my kid. Okay. Somebody said my mother. Okay. So I can see a lot of Imon Ahmed said father. Mustafiz Rahman said it is always my mother. Okay. Fakrul said parents. Fakrul, you need to find out one. Mother. Okay, thank you for responding. So okay, thank you. So now what I'm gonna do, we will give you the opportunity to speak about that favorite person. And the reason I'm saying this is why I'm giving you to practice with your favorite person is, can you remember, for he, she, it, Tony, we need to put a sound. He speaks, she speaks, it speaks, Tony speaks. So while we are speaking, we can't remember this sort of a sound. That's why if you practice with this pattern, you don't have to think a lot. It's going to come automatically and you can deliver the sentences. Did you get me? So অনেকেই আছি যারা আমরা থার্ড পারসন সিঙ্গুলার ব্যাপারে কথা বলতে গিয়ে আমরা কি করি, এস সাউন্ড যোগ করি না। We know the rules of the grammar, but in speaking we got to think a lot. স্পিকিং এর সময় আমাদের কি করতে, অনেক কিছু চিন্তা করে বলতে হয়, এই জন্য কি হয়, এস সাউন্ড আসে না আমাদের মনে। সো আমরা যদি এইভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করি তাহলে কি হবে, এই এস সাউন্ড অটোমেটিকলি আসবে। সো দ্য কোশ্চেন ইজ, হোয়াট ডাজ ইউর favorite person do every single day? Type in the chat box this question. What does your favorite person do every day? Type in the chat box. What does your favorite person do every day? Very quickly, type in chat box. The question is, what does your favorite person do every day? What does your favorite person do every day? Right? This is the question, and we're gonna practice a lot, and especially dear IELTS candidates. So if you'd like to improve your fluency, you got to go through this. If you'd like to make some sort of corrections in your speaking, you should practice this time and again. Right? So most of the time I get questions is, how can I improve my fluency? How can I improve my fluency? The answer I'm gonna give you 4 medicines, right? 4 medicine. The first medicine I have already given you is, what do you do every day? Practice it 3 times in a day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Practice it 3 times in a day. And the second medicine is, what does your favorite person do every day? Okay, thank you for responding. I can see a lot of comment right now. So Moin said, what does your favorite person do every day? Okay, Riyamani, thank you. Jeba, thank you. Zakia, thank you. Sultana, thank you. Okay, thank you for responding. So the question is, what does your favorite person do every day? Right? So how many medicine you have to take if you'd like to get your fluency? 4. Type in the chat box, just 4. Just 4. Type in the chat box, 4. So number 1 medicine is, you need to practice, what do you do every day? আপনি প্রতিদিন কি করেন সেটা প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে। Number 2 is, what does your favorite person do every day? Number 2. Right? Number 3 is, what did you do yesterday? And number 4 is, what will you do tomorrow? So if you practice these 4 questions, you're going to get a lot of benefits. Number 1, you're going to improve your fluency. Number 2, you'll not make any mistakes regarding the tense. Number 3, you will not make any mistakes regarding the third person singular number, right? So these are the benefits, and all you got to do is you need to follow this instruction. Can you remember? Find a mentor, follow the instruction, and take massive actions, right? So you got to take it 3 times in a day. A medicine কয়বার নিতে হবে আপনাকে? 3 times, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Some of the students, they say, sir, I'm so busy, I don't have any time, This is bullshit, right? You have so much time. You are not committed. That's why you are telling me the bullshit. Can you remember in the yesterday, I was cycling, right? And I was thinking, okay, I need to share a lot of things with my students. So what I did, I just started going live, and I have spoken 30 minutes. That means I did my physical exercise, and at the same time, I helped you giving a lot of information. So how come I did it? Because I had a real intention. I'm committed to help you out. That's why. So if you make the commitment, then you will find your time. Did you get me? So 4 questions, 3 times in a day, you need to practice it. Once you start doing this, you will see massive result because you are taking massive actions, right? So sometimes, my business mentor, once upon a time, he said, I cannot help each and every person who are coming to this mastermind. And I raised my hand. I said, what's the reason, sir? And he said, there are a lot of people, they think they are smart, but they are not. And they don't follow what I say. And that's why they don't get the result. So I know some of you, you're really smart enough, and you probably might be thinking that, okay, I shouldn't follow his instruction. I'm smart enough. I can, and I know how to speak in English, But trust me, if you follow my instruction at the end of, let's say, 12 days speaking challenge, you will see you have improved a lot in your English fluency. Number 2, you have changed a lot inside. And number 3, you started getting the results. That's the thing, right? So all you got to do is you need to follow these 4 medicines every single day, 3 times in a day. Okay, now, the first question I'm going to ask you is, I'd like to check, right? I'd like to say, what does your favorite person do every single day? Please type in the chat box 3 activities your favorite person does every single day. Type in the chat box. For example, for me is my wife. So she gets up early in the morning, and she goes to work, and she returns home around 3 o'clock. 3 sentences I said. Type in the chat box 3 sentences. What does your favorite person do in the morning? Type in the chat box very quickly. What does your favorite person do in the morning? Apnar favorite person je tini সকালবেলা কোন 3টা কাজ করে? Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see your comment. Very quickly, type in the chat box. Okay. What does your favorite person do in the morning? I'll be waiting to see your answer very quickly. Short sentence. So you can say, my mom gets up early in the morning. She goes to washroom. She brushes her teeth. 3 activities, right? Type in the chat box. Make sure you put S or ES, S sound. Type in the chat box 3 activities your favorite person does. No, you didn't understand, right? So আমি আপনাদেরকে রিকোয়েস্ট করতেছি যে আমাকে 3টা সেন্টেন্স বলেন যেটা আপনার ফেভারিট পারসন প্রতিদিন করে। এটা যদি আপনার মা হয় তাহলে বলবেন, my mother gets up early in the morning. She wakes up early in the morning. She goes to kitchen. She cooks food. Right? 3 sentences আমাকে দিতে হবে. Right? So give me the short sentence. Okay. Himel Shikdar said, wake up, clean houses, make breakfast. Okay. Himel, can you please make a sentence? She wakes up, she cleans houses, she makes breakfast, right? Okay. Mustafa Rahman says, she get up early in the morning. No, Mustafa, she gets up, right? Then she go to washroom. No, she goes to washroom. After that, she makes food for us. Okay. This is how. Okay. Adnan Hossain, thank you. She cooks food, she prays, she walks in the morning. So you are talking about 3rd person singular number, right? So S sound, speaks, listens, understands, cooks, gets up, makes breakfast, right? S sound. Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see. Umme Java said, she wake up early in the morning. No, she wakes up early in the morning, she makes breakfast, not make. She walks on the road. No, she walks on the road. Umme Habiba, can you please do the correction? So wakes up, makes breakfast, walks on the road. Okay. Ummehani said, she goes to school, she walks in the morning, she gets up early in the morning. Thank you for responding. That means you know how to make sentences using 3rd person singular number. Okay. Shorab Burman said, my mom's get up in the morning, then she cooks for us, she takes our meal. Okay, she serves meal. Okay, thank you. Gulam Rabbi said, he gets up early in the morning, he takes breakfast, he goes to office. Okay, Gulam Rabbi, thank you for responding. Milon Ahmed said, my father gets up early in the morning, brushes his teeth and eats something. Milon, it should be yes, right? So you're doing very good. So just you need to remember, you need to put S sound. Noyan said, gets up early in the morning, cleans houses. So not clean, cleans. Right? Cooks various food. Okay, thank you for responding. Marzi Ahmed Asha said, my mom wakes up early in the morning. She says prayer, makes breakfast for us. Makes, right? Himel Shikdar says she wakes up early in the morning, she cleans the houses, she makes breakfast. Excellent, thank you. Thank you for responding. That means you know how to do it, right? My father gets up early in the morning, takes brush, goes to field. Okay, thank you for responding. Ravina Ruby said she wakes up early in the morning, then performs her prayer. Not performed, present form, Ruby. So then she performs her prayer, then recites the Holy Quran. So make sure you put a yes or a yes, right? That's why you're practicing this. Saifur said, my mother gets up early in the morning. She takes her Fajr prayer. It's better if you say she performs, okay? Then she makes breakfast for us. Thank you. Thank you for responding. So Sanjida Doli said, my mother wakes up very early, brushes her teeth and makes breakfast. Sanjida, আপনাকে যেটা করতে হবে সেটা হলো প্রতিটার সাথে s by s যোগ করতে হবে. Wakes up, brushes her teeth, makes breakfast, right? So she goes to kitchen. Okay, thank you for responding. Now, do you really understand how to use third person singular number, especially while you started speaking about your favorite person? You need to say, hey, my mother gets up early in the morning, she goes to washroom, then she brushes her teeth, then she comes out and she goes to kitchen, she makes breakfast for us, she clean the kitchen, then she takes shower, and around 12 o'clock she starts preparing her lunch, and then she serves the food as well. She prays Zohar prayer, right? So this is how I need to practice. So if you really understood, please type in the chat box understood. I'd like to see how many of you really understood how to talk about your favorite person. What does your favorite person do every day? Please type in the chat box understood. Okay, I can see a lot of students are saying understood. Thank you for responding. Now quickly type in the chat box understood. Now I'd like to ask you, what does your favorite person do in the afternoon? Give me 3 actions again. 3 actions. So দুপুরবেলা আপনার favorite person কি কাজ করে? আমাকে 3টা কাজের কথা বলেন. Again, I'd like to check and I'd like to make sure you can use third person singular number, right? So please type in the chat box very quickly. So what does your favorite person do in the afternoon? আপনার favorite person afternoon এ কি কাজ করে? Please type in the chat box. Type in the chat box very quickly. Afternoon, I'm talking about afternoon, right? So I'll be waiting for your answer. Okay, let me tell you something by this time about my journey of learning English. Would you like to know my journey of learning English? Right? So কে কে জানতে চান আমি কিভাবে ইংরেজি শিখেছি, right? Can you remember I said I failed in SSC test and somehow I managed to pass in SSC, then HSC, then I graduated from Chittagong University. Now I'd like to share with you what's the reason I learned English, right? So probably you know that by this time. So I was studying masters at University of Chittagong, and I was attending a class. The teacher was giving the lecture, and there was a rule in his class that you can't ask him question during his lecture. At the end of his lecture, he's going to give you time to ask question. So, but I forgot that rule. I raised my hand and I asked, what do you mean by embargo, right? And then my teacher, he said, he was so furious, he got angry and he said, get out from my class. And I was kicked out from my class and I was insulted. And that's the day I have decided that I'm going to learn English, right? And what happened next is I went to different centers and I took admission at center because I need a mentor, right? So once I got the mentor, then I started learning English. And unfortunately, I took admission in a renowned organization. So I went there and I saw there are a lot of students over there. They can speak English, literally. But I was so weak in English. And then I met with my teacher. I said, sir, I need to talk with you. And he said, about what? And I said, you are a good teacher, definitely. I don't have any doubt, but I don't understand. Because I don't know. My basic is very weak in English. And so can you please help me? And the sir, he was very humble, very gentle. And he said, yeah, sure. Can you please come to my room? And I went to his room. He asked me to take a seat. I sat down over there and he said, Habib, you got to learn 5 to 7 things, right? So I said, what is that? He said, have you taken your pen and paper? I said, yes, I have. And he said, okay, can you please start writing? The first thing he said, you got to be very good in tens. Type in the chat box, tens. And the second thing he said, you got to be very good in voice. I mean, how to change from active to passive, passive to active. I said, okay, so that means voice. Okay, what's the next? And he said, you have to understand the use of preposition. So I said, okay, number 3 is preposition. And he said, you got to know how to do the transformation of sentence. So from simple to complex, complex to compound, compound to simple. Right. So number 4 was transformation of sentence. Number 5 was comparison, degree, right? So positive, comparative, and superlative. So number 5 was, comparison, I mean, degree. So if you know these 5 things in English, that means you have got basic in English, and that means you have got all the ingredients in English, components in English. All you got to do is now you need to build up the thing, whatever you want to. So can you get this sort of ingredients? Can you get this sort of what is called components? And I said, of course, I don't know about this, but I'm going to learn it. So I came to my student dormitory, I mean hall, and then I just made the list and I hang on the wall. And then I started learning English. The first thing I have learned is tense. And that's the thing. I'm teaching you tense, right? So in the present form and third person singular number. So you're learning, you're practicing. That's the fundamental of English language. So number 1 was tense. Number 2 was voice. Number 3 was transformation of sentence. Number 4 was preposition. And number 5 was comparison. Right? So degree. These are the 5 things. Can you please type in the chat box how many things you got to learn to be very good in English? Only 5 things. Please type in the chat box. Type in the chat box how many things you need to learn to be a better speaker, to be a better writer. How many things you got to learn? Only 5 things, right? So Naima, thank you for responding. So Naima said tense, voice, degree, preposition, transformation of sentence. Thank you for responding. I'd like to see everyone's comment. Please type in the chat box. Is okay. So Marzia said tense, voice, preposition, transformation, sentence, and degree. Thank you. So these are the 5 things you got to learn. And once you learn these 5 things, voila, you got it. Nobody can stop you, right? So all you need to do is you need to do the commitment that you're gonna learn with me. You got a mentor, right? Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. Who is your mentor? I'd like to see. Mentor means teacher. Mentor means trainer. Mentor means who already achieved success and who would like to help others. He's a mentor. Type in the chat box. Who is your mentor? Apnar mentor ke. Type in the chat box. I'd like to see your name. It doesn't have to be me. It might be another teacher. It might be your parents. It might be your brother. It might be your sister. Type in the chat box. Who is your mentor? Okay, very good. Thank you for responding. So now I'd like to see who is your mentor. Type in the chat box. So next thing I'd like to ask you is, what does your favorite person do in the evening? Right? Evening e apnar favorite person ki kaaj kore? Give me the 3 activities, 3 actions, what he or she does. Type in the chat box very quickly. Very quickly type in the chat box. Okay, so a lot of students, they are saying mentor is you. Okay, thank you. I'm honored, and I'll try my best to help you out, because someone helped me to come this position, right? And always you'll see the successful people, they always extend their hand to help you out. And the people who failed, they're not willing to help others, right? Because they don't have anything to help out. So that's why, so success leaves clues. All you need to do is you need to follow the footsteps of the successful people, and you need to model them, and you need to apply that, and you'll be another successful person in your life. Right. So thank you for responding. And I'm really glad to know that I'm your mentor. All you got to do is you need to follow the instruction of your mentor, right? So find out your mentor, then apply what it says. Number 3 is take massive actions. Now, here is another source of success story I'd like to share with you. Is, for example, if you'd like to be a best speaker, find out who is the best speaker, right? Then model him, follow him, and learn from him. If you'd like to be a best renowned surgeon in the world, try to find out who is the best surgeon in the world. Know about him, study the biography, and after that you will find a lot of clues how to do this, and you will become a best surgeon in the world. That's what I do. So I asked my mentor how I'm gonna dominate the world, and he, mentor knows everything because he has been there. And he said, Habib, you got a mentor. Now you need to follow his instruction 100%, and you need to take massive action. And I said, what are the massive actions I should take? He said, you got to dominate your industry. I said, yeah. And he said, you got to have authority, right? He said, if you'd like to dominate your industry, you got to be authority of that industry. I said, how to become the authority? And he said, become an author, and that's gonna give the authority. And guess what? I have written this book, The Entrepreneur's Cry and Smile, right? And in this book, I have shared my journey, my struggles, my challenge, and how I became successful in my industry. So once I give this book to my client, and they say, wow, you have shared everything, right? And yeah, I said, that's the successful people do. They always help others. They share the information with others so that other can be benefited, right? So that's the thing. That's the thing you got to do. So now, can you please type in the chat box, who is your favorite person and what does he or she do in the evening? Evening e she ki kaজ করে? Please type in the chat box. 3 actions. I'd like to read your comment. So Imon Kamali said he prays Maghrib, takes cup of tea, and then rests. So Imon, you need to put first of all verb, then s. So he takes a cup of tea, then he rests. Okay, so Fokul Islam said my mother finishes her Maghrib prayer, then she makes tea, then she takes rest. Okay, excellent. Thank you. So Adim said make some food, tea, and prayer. Adim, still you didn't understand, right? So you need to put yes or yes. So he makes some food, then takes tea, then says prayer, right? So okay, so Suraya Parvin said she wakes up, completed her prayer. No, Suraya, you're mixing the tenses. She completes her prayer, then she starts her other work, right? Completes. Okay. Ria said in the evening, my mother prays salad. Okay, not prayer, prays salad. Then she makes snacks and she watches television. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Himel Shida said she takes snack, sleeps for a while, and watches TV. Thank you for responding. She prays her Maghrib prayer, makes tea for us, then she gossips with us. Okay. Okay, Mahadi, gossip means backbiting, right? Karo pisone kisu kharap kisu bola, that's called gossip. So instead of gossip, you can say chat. She chats with us, right? So she cooks delicious dishes for me, She says prayer. She takes tea. Excellent, Ipti. Sanjita Dolly said, my mother walking. No, my mother walks, makes tea, and helps us. So Milon Ahmed said, my father is my favorite person. He prays salad, not prayers. Milon, you need to have a verb. At a verb darkar. Pray holo verb. He prays salat, then takes a cup of tea, then goes out for natural wind. Okay, thank you for responding. Asa said makes dinner, serve dinner. Okay, serves dinner, chats with my family. So Asad, you need to put s যুক্ত করতে হবে ভার্বের সাথে. Makes dinner, serves food, chats with family member. Okay. Ravina Ruby says she's my sister. She makes coffee for me. She studies her study, then makes mosquito nest for me. Okay, thank you for responding. Yeah, this is how you need to share. What does your favorite person do every single day? Now we're gonna practice a little bit further, then we're gonna finish it up. So now here you go. So these are the things your favorite person do every single day. What does your favorite person do every day? So the presentation you need to give this way. Hi everyone, my name is Habib, and you know my favorite person is my mother. Today I'd like to share with you what she does every single day. She gets up early in the morning, she brushes her teeth, then she makes breakfast, then she goes to office, she takes rickshaw, and she arrives office at 10 a.m. Then she starts working. And during the Ramadan, she doesn't take lunch, so she takes just rest for some time. Again, she starts working. She leaves office at 5 o'clock, and she takes rickshaw. She returns home and she refreshes herself. Then she watches television for some time, and then she does some sort of household work. In the evening, she gets together with us. She makes some snacks for us. She helps to cook. She serves dinner, and she reads sometimes books. She chats with our family members, and she takes a look on tomorrow's plan, and she gets ready to sleep, and she goes to bed, right? So this is how we need to practice. So your homework could be 30 sentences. How many sentences? Please type in the chat box. Not 29, not 27, not 20. You got to write down 30 sentences. So all you got to do is you need to take pen and paper, and you need to write down something like this. My favorite person is my mom, and today I'd like to share with you what she does every day. Then first of all, she gets up early in the morning, keep going, right? So in the morning, 10 actions, in the afternoon, 10 actions, in the evening, 10 actions. So all together, you got to make 30 activities, and then you need to practice 10 times in front of the mirror, right? How many times you need to practice it in front of the mirror? Type in the chat box. আয়নার সামনে কতবার প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে? 10 times, 10 বার. Then all you got to do is you need to pick up your phone, and you need to just what is called record it and upload your video in the Facebook group, right? So if you've got any questions regarding this, please type in the chat box. I'd like to see if you have got any questions. I will answer, then we'll finish it up, right? So before that, we're going to practice it a few more times. Ready? Okay, so thank you for responding. So Himel said 10 times, Ria Moni said 10 times, Zahidul said 10 times. Okay, thank you for responding. Right, so I'm going to ask you a question. Can you please type in the chat box if you know the meaning of miser? Okay, so type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to see. If you know the meaning. Type in the chat box, please. If you know the meaning of miser. M-I-S-E-R. Quickly. Type in the chat box if you know the meaning of miser. Very quickly. So what's the meaning of miser? Type in the chat box. Yeah, that's right, Adnan. I'd like to see how many of you know. Miser means what? Okay, Zahidul said, I could not submit my previous class homework. Can I submit his homework today? Of course you can, Zahid. Thank you for asking this question. Okay, so miser means coupon, right? So, I mean, who doesn't want to spend money? It's called miser. So I would like to say, some of you are really here, are miser, I would say, right? আপনারা তো কৃপণ কেন? একজন এর ভিডিও দেখে পজিটিভলি কমেন্ট করবেন যে এক্সিলেন্ট, অসাম, আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং, রাইট? একজন আরেকজনকে ইন্সপায়ার করবেন, মোটিভেট করবেন। So that's the question. So why are you so miser? আপনারা এত কৃপণ কেন? So today কতগুলো কমেন্ট করবেন, কতগুলো ভিডিও দেখবেন? Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. I'd like to see how many of you watch at least 10 videos and you're gonna leave 10 comments, because this is how you need to inspire each other. So if you don't inspire others, they don't inspire you, they don't motivate you. So this is the practice you need to have, right? So still I can remember when I went to the mastermind group, 10 business people over there. If I said something, they appreciated me a lot. They said, thank you, Habib, thanks for sharing that, right? So there was a session something like this. So our mentor said, okay, Habib, now present what are the challenges you're gonna have, or what are the challenges you had. And just I started sharing all the things, and all the other members, they motivated me, saying, appreciate that, thank you so much for sharing that, thank you for answering this question. So all you got to do is you need to watch at least 10 videos and you need to make 10 comments. That's what I want from you, right? Be engaged. And also if you'd like to find a partner, a speaking partner basically, then I would definitely recommend you watch 10 videos, then find out who are the best speakers and send them a private message, say, hey, I'd like to practice with you, is this okay? And if you ask the permission, they're gonna say yes. And yeah, so once you practice together, you're gonna improve a lot. So make sure you watch at least 10 videos. And dear beginners, যারা beginner আছেন, যারা এখনো অনেক ডাউট আমার মতো, যখন আমি সেই বিজনেস মাস্টারমাইন্ড গ্রুপে গিয়েছিলাম, -9,000 ছিল আমার ব্যাংক অ্যাকাউন্টে, হ্যাঁ, তাদেরকে বলবো যে আপনারা যারা পারতেছে তাদেরকে দেখেন, ইন্সপায়ার্ড হন, মোটিভেটেড হন, এবং ask yourself, so if these people can do it, why can't I do it? এই লোকজন যদি, এই স্টুডেন্টরা যদি প্রেজেন্টেশন দিতে পারে, তাহলে আমি কেন দিতে পারবো না, right? Ask this question to yourself, you'll get the answer, you'll get motivated. So once I left the mastermind and I asked the same question to myself, if these people can make like million of pounds, they're not that much smart, I think I can do it as well, right? So once you start watching those videos, you will get a feeling that, okay, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? So that's why I would recommend you, please watch at least 10 videos and 10 comments as well, right? And also repetition is the mother of all skills. So I would recommend you watch this class time and again. Barbar class tay dekhen, right? So can you remember the 4 skills I described? Okay, by the way, I forgot to ask you a question. Who bought diary? Type in the chat box, me. I'd like to see who bought a diary to start writing in the morning, or some sort of notebooks or khata, whatever you say. Who bought it? Please type in the chat box. Can you remember? I said 4 skills in English language, and you got to improve 4 skills. Number 1 is speaking. How you gonna do that? So coming to the class, speaking, practicing, giving presentation, right? Number 2 is how you gonna improve your writing? By writing. So you need to buy a diary, and you need to start writing every single day. What do you do the whole day? Just write down in English. Okay, so today I'm gonna do this, then do this, then do this, then do this, right? Start writing every single day. Write 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages. Write down as much as you can, right? So a lot of students, they bought the diary. Thank you for responding. That means you follow the instruction. You found the mentor, you follow the instruction, and you started taking a lot of actions, massive actions, and you're gonna get, best result. Okay, number 3 was reading. So I told you, what do you like to do? What do you like to read? Is it newspaper? Is it magazine? Is it a storybook? Is it your academic book? Is it finance? Whatever you like to do, read in English, right? Read in English. And this is how you're going to improve your reading skills. And the last one is listening, right? So when you go to your university, go to your work, go to your office, listen English. It might be music, it might be BBC News, it might be CNN, it might be podcast, it might be this class, recorded class. So you put your earbud and it's just you're traveling from your home to office. So this is how you need to develop your 4 skills. So once you start doing, developing these 4 skills, you're gonna say, you'll see it in 3 to 6 months, you have changed a lot, you have developed a lot. And after 6 months, probably one of your friends will say, hey, I'm really surprised. How did you improve a lot, right? And then you need to share with you. So 12 days speaking challenge, and I'm developing these 4 skills. I'm practicing 4 medicine 3 times in a day. And this is how I developed a lot, right? So you should invite them as well. So they'll be inspired by you. They'll be proud of you. That's the thing. So now what I'm going to do, I'll just practice a little bit this thing. Then we're going to finish up the class. So here you go. So I'm going to ask you, what does your favorite person do every day? You need to give me this answer. Ready? If you're ready, please type in the chat box ready. R-E-A-D-Y. Quickly, type in the chat box ready. R-E-A-D-Y. Very quickly, type in the chat box ready. So when I say 3, 2, 1, go, you should start and you should finish 30 sentences. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. What does your favorite person do every day? Hi, everyone. My name is Habib. And my favorite person is my mother. Today, I'd like to share with you what does she do every day. She gets up early in the morning. Then she brushes her teeth. She makes breakfast. Then she gets ready for office. She takes a rickshaw and she arrives at office at 10 o'clock. Keep going. Don't stop. Loudly, right? Joro joro bolen. Then during the lunchtime, she goes, she takes some rest. Then she starts working again and she leaves office around 5 o'clock. Then she takes again rickshaw. She returns home. She refreshes herself. She watches television. Then she finishes the household work. And in the evening, she does a lot of things. First of all, she makes some snacks for us. She cooks and she serves dinner. And sometimes she reads books. Sometimes she watches television. And finally, she takes a look on tomorrow's plan and she gets ready to go to bed and she sleeps. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So how many sentences you made? Please type in the chat box. I'd like to see. How many sentences have you made? How many sentences have you made? Type in the chat box. Is it 20? Is it 30? Is it 40? So this is the homework for tomorrow. Make sure you practice 10 times. The way you need to practice is you will not make any mistakes regarding third person single number. Do you get me? Right? So you got to do this. So I'm going to give you the homework. What is the... Okay, so Sharmin said 30 sentences. Naim said 12. Naim, you need to improve a lot. Avina said 30. If they said 25 plus. Okay, thank you for responding. Okay, so this is the homework you need to do, right? So Akandos Adam said 30. Adnan said 30. Sheikh Lukman said 30. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. Imon Kamali said 30. Okay, thank you for responding. So this is the homework. I definitely recommend you to do it. So if there is a new student, make sure that you submit your homework to Facebook group. It's called UK Study Visa. And also, I'll at the end of this class, I'll give the link to in the comment, right? And by the way, so if you watch replay, when you watch, can you please type replay so that I can understand how many students are watching replay? And yeah, and I'll see. I'll be your accountable partner. I'd like to see whether you watch replay or not. So once you watch replay, please type in the comment that replay, so that I will be able to understand that you watch replay a lot. Okay. So this is the homework. What does your favorite person do every day? You need to say 30 actions. You need to practice it 10 times in front of the mirror, then upload your video on UK study visa, right? And the structure, you need to practice 10 times as well. Can you remember what is structure? Do I speak? Do you speak? Do you speak? Do they speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? Does it speak? Does Tony speak? This is structure. You need to practice 10 times. Change the verb. So then take understand. Do I understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? Do they understand? Does he understand? Does she understand? Does it understand? Does Tony understand? Right? So change the verb again. Do you learn? Do I learn? Do you learn? Do you learn? Do they learn? Does he learn? Does she learn? Does it learn? Does Tony learn? Change the verb again, right? So do I listen? Do we listen? Do they listen? Does he listen? Does she listen? Does it listen? Does Tony listen? This is how I need to practice. Okay. So thank you for joining today. And tomorrow we're gonna have a very, very important class. So today you have learned how to ask yes no question. Asker class আপনারা শিখেছেন কিভাবে কোশ্চেন করতে হয়. For example, if I ask you, do you speak English? Your answer is yes, I do. Do you speak Chinese? No, I don't. So by nodding your head, you can answer it. But if you'd like to get a lot of information, then you need to ask deep questions. Type in the chat box, deep question. Quickly type in the chat box, deep question, DEEP question, deep question. So what I mean by deep question is, that means you need to know how to ask deep question. I mean, how to ask a lot of information. And especially, you know, if you are caught by police, then you have been taken to the police station, and once you go to the police station, police ask you a lot of questions. Why did you do that? How did you do that? Why didn't you think so? Da 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 da. Where did it happen? Da 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 da. Right? So deep questions. So once police start asking deep questions, so you got to answer. You got to give them a lot of information. So tomorrow's class, if you attend and if you practice with me, you'll be able to ask deep questions, and we're gonna use them. We're gonna use WS words, and if you know how to use WS questions, that means you know how to ask deep questions. So tomorrow class is all about deep questions, and every single day you're gonna have what is called presentation. So thank you for joining today. I appreciate, and I'm really honored and privileged that you got me as your mentor. I'll try my best. All you got to do is, now you found your mentor, right? You need to follow my instruction 100%, not 99.9%, 100%, and you got to take massive actions, right? So before finishing, I'd like to ask you a question. Who is gonna submit homework? Type in the chat box, me. I'd like to see how many of you will be willing to submit your homework tomorrow. দেখি কয়জন আছেন এই জায়গায় যারা আপনাদের হোমওয়ার্ক সাবমিট করবেন। যদি আপনি মনে করেন যে আপনি হোমওয়ার্ক সাবমিট করবেন, প্লিজ টাইপ ইন chat box me, right? You got to be committed. So I'd like to see how many people are really committed. How many people are really committed? Type in the chat box very quickly. Okay, so I can see a lot of people are saying me. Okay, thank you Adnan for responding. Email, thank you. Ravina, thank you. Mahmudullah Hassan, thank you. Rukul Mida, thank you. Jiba, thank you. Sharmin, thank you. Thank you for responding. So yeah, please make sure you submit your homework. And you need to remember one thing. This is the powerful message I'm about to share with you, is winner never quits, quitter never wins. Please type these two sentences. Winner never quits. Quits means give up, right? And quitter never wins. Type these two sentences. I'd like to see if you really understand the powerful message. Winner never quits, and quitter never wins. Quickly type in the chat box. So আপনি যদি আপনার মধ্যে যদি উইনারের অ্যাটিটিউড থাকে, আপনি কখনো কি করবেন না, কুইট করবেন না, কখনো বাদ দিয়ে দেবেন না। আর যারা বাদ দেয় তারা জীবনে কখনো উইন করে না, রাইট? সো উইনার নেভার কুইটস and quitter never wins. Type in the chat box. This is very powerful message. winner never quits, and quitter never wins. Okay, Tasnim, thank you. Thank you for responding. So winner never quits. Third person singular number, right? A winner. So winner never quits, and the quitter never wins. So আপনার মধ্যে কি রকম থাকতে হবে একটা attitude, winner attitude, right? So I got to win, I got to achieve. So আপনার মধ্যে যখন এই attitude থাকবে, so you never quit, and if you never quit, that means you will win. The message is clear. আপনি যেই মুহূর্তে আপনি কি করবেন, কুইট করবেন, ছেড়ে দিবেন, আপনি কি করলেন, লুজার হয়ে গেলেন, right? So winner never quits, quitter never wins. So now the last question I'm going to ask you is the feedback. How did you find today's class? Is it okay, excellent, or outstanding? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see your feedback. Then we're going to say goodbye, and we're going to see you tomorrow, right? So quickly, I'd like to see your feedback. Is it the class? How did you find today's class? How did you enjoy this class? Is it okay? Is it excellent? Is it outstanding? Type in the chat box very quickly. I'd like to read your comment, then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, so type in the chat box. So Adnan said it's okay. Adnan, thank you for responding. Himel Sarkar said outstanding. Adnan said excellent. Okay, Mahmoud Hassan said outstanding. Thank you. Sharmin said amazing. Okay, thank you. Thank you for responding. So let's recap what we have done today's class. So we learned and we practice a lot how to ask question, and you need to practice that structure. And the number two is you need to remember that you have got 4 medicines. The first is what do you do every day, and the second medicine is what does your favorite person do every day, right? Third and fourth medicine we're going to take in the next classes, right? And also you have learned that winner never quits and the quitter never wins. So make sure you never ever quit, right? So thank you for responding. I can see a lot of people, they found it outstanding. I'm really honored and I'm really impressed. And you know, when I see the notification on my mobile phone that you keep submitting your homework, I feel so much proud. You are so excited, you are pumped, right? And I'll promise you one thing is, once you finish this course, this is not about the English language. So this is kind of mentorship program as well. I'm trying to change your mindset as well, right? To your attitude as well. And I'm giving you the guidelines, and I'm showing you the direction. So if you follow all the things, you will see your growth is like this, right? So make sure you come to the class on time tomorrow, and see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Goodbye.